Hey everybody, welcome back to the Izzyverse. Today we're going to have a great show for you guys. We're going to be doing the Kickstarter projects that we look out for. So hot picks, our Kickstarter hot picks. I'm going to talk about those really soon. And it's going to be really excited to talk about. I got some fantastic guests with me. But before we do that, as you all know, I do my plugs to start things off. And starting with this Monday I'm going to have Dean Haspiel. He's going to be talking with us a little bit about his book, The Fox, which just came out this week. I did that in the poll list, so you can go check that out. And we're going to talk about Red Hook, Keyhole 25, and some of his other great books that are coming out there. Also, it's important to note that in a couple of weeks, I will be doing the Bronx show. Go check that out. It's, it was the first show that opened the doors for me. So I'm going back to the Bronx show and Grandstand Banquet Hall. Great stuff, great guests. We're going to be doing a lot of giveaways and things like that. And of course, as you guys all know, support your local comic books. What we're going to do today is we're going to do that exactly the point. That is the point of our show for today. We are going to support comic books, the indie comics. So this is all about indie comic books. We hope that those of you that are watching are take some notes and see if there's any books that you want to support, as well as let us know what books you think are great to support, because we want to do this more frequently. This is the start of something new. With that, let me introduce to you my guest for this evening. First and foremost, he's part of Bitten Apple TV. Let's introduce to you guys Written Rit Ralph. What's going on, man?
Well, hello there, Apple Buddies. Yes, it's your pal, Written Rit Ralph here at the Izzyverse, because sometimes crossovers are deadly.
Exactly. Always the showman, right? Always the showman, Ralph, right? Also with us, writer of Tragedy, and you may see his YouTube channel as well, Creator Con Event. With us is Phil Russertt. How's it going, Phil?
I don't have his Barry White voice, so I'll keep it simple. What's going on?
And including with us one of our Kickstarter campaigns that we are going to do, we have here Chastity and Chris. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks. Hello.
All right. So first, before we start talking about our campaigns and what campaigns we want to support, one thing I always want to talk a little bit about is what is Kickstarter and what Kickstarter is all about. So when I started back in 2005, to be precise, I started back in 2005. We didn't have something like Kickstarter. We had Kickstarter after a few years afterwards, and it was relatively unknown. Most people didn't know about it, and most people were very suspicious of it. But today it's boomed up to what it is today. What is your fond memories of Kickstarter? We'll start with you, Phil.
Right now. We just broke 10 grand with halfway through the campaign. So right now is my fond memory. Well, even just my very first launch, and you don't know what to expect, especially your first time out. And it's exciting, but it's an emotional roller coaster. You're up and down constantly. But I don't know. I guess you could say right now for the positive and the stress of the first one.
That first Kickstarter is always scary, right?
Yeah.
Chastity and Chris, you would know, right? Right now, right? You're experiencing it right now. Ralph, what about you? What can you tell me about your what you know about Kickstarter and how you got involved in the Kickstarter world.
It's interesting because we both know, or you all know, as we grew up, you go to the comic stores, and the comic books are this tangible thing that you get at comic book stores, and then to start having these Kickstarters where you actually help creators bring their books to lives, and you're like, oh, okay, this is interesting, and the ability to help someone to bring their comic book to the people, it's just an amazing a thing. It's just something that you don't get to do usually in the industry itself. It's not how it used to be, because something going to Kickstarter before was somebody going through from person to person trying to fund their book, or finding a company that would help them fund the book. Or if it was the older days, it would be you try to get into Marvel and you try to get into DC, and hopefully they wouldn't steal what you wanted to put into their system.
Yeah, I saw somebody post something the other day. I'm not sure who it was, where they were saying they got a letter from Marvel saying, "We love your idea and we want to pay you for it. And if you get a chance, we'll let you script it too." Like, if we think it's good enough. That sounds like. But I remember before the days of Kickstarters, it was something that looked like this. You guys remember what this is? It's a blank sheet of paper, but it was like this. You guys know what this is? What these were called? There was a term for it. You guys remember it? Like a little booklet this size.
Oh, you're talking about the ash cans?
Ash cans. Remember those babies?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Ash cans.
Oh,
I miss those.
Cans.
I got two, man. And they're easy to put away, but they don't make bags for them. All right, Chastity and Chris, let's start with you guys, because you actually have a book that you want to promote here. You're definitely doing the part of the Kickstarter campaign, and that book is Rabbit's Badass Song. So talk to me a little bit about Rabbit's Badass Song.
You want me to go?
Yeah, this is all you.
Well, first, before I start, I want to thank Phil again for recommending us. Really appreciate that. It's a revenge story that becomes something much bigger with superheroes and villains, and there's a little bit of a love story in there, and some fried chicken.
Fried chicken, I like that. You sold. That's it. You're getting all the money now. Comics and fried chicken.
Can I interject for a minute? Because I did get to read both issues. I own them. And I have to tell you that this is an extremely entertaining, professional book that they're doing. And I mean that with utmost sincerity. It is well written. The art is excellent, and it matches the style that they're trying to achieve in the storytelling. You may look at it, and with the current climate, you see it's a black man down south. It's not a preachy book about anything like that. It has nothing to do with that. It's just his origin story. It fits. It makes sense. It's just a good story to get away from everything. It has nothing to do with any political agenda or climate, but it is a lot of fun, and I really enjoy this book a lot. I look forward to the third one, and it's not often that I look forward to the next book anymore. They really did a top-notch professional job. To be honest with you, I think if they would have shopped to Image, they'd probably be picked up in a second, but that's just me.
Thank
Thank
you. You sold it like better than we could.
And they didn't pay me, I promise.
I was about to say that. It's like, how much did you give them?
No, I really was very impressed. I didn't know what to. It looked interesting, and I just listening to talking with Chris, I had a feeling that he knew what he was doing. But him and Chastity really did. They put a very professional, entertaining book together, and it's definitely my pull list.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So,
Thanks.
Chris, Chastity, explain to us the story while I put it up so everyone can see it. Unless you have slides to show.
No slides. No slides.
All right. So let me go ahead and pull it up so everyone can see it. All right. There you guys go. You guys can see it?
Yeah, there we go.
Yep.
So go ahead and talk to us a little bit about your book.
Okay, well, the story's about the main character, Jimmy Mason, who goes by the name Rabbit, and he's accompanied with his love interest / sidekick Snow Bunny. And they're returning to their hometown of Lightfield, Mississippi to get revenge on some guys who did them wrong years ago. And along the way, they make some friends, they make some enemies, and they cause some they get some attention from some higher ups as far as superheroes go and everything. And it's an evolution story. It goes from there. It starts off again it's like a summer revenge tale, and then we just keep on building up until we get to like a whole nother type of story.
It's kind of reminiscent of where, like, if you know anything about Berserk, where that kind of starts off as like
The manga.
as
Yeah,
a
far
list,
structure wise, the narrative.
yeah.
It starts out one genre, but it slowly becomes something totally different. It's an evolutionary story. And there's like the character has an arc. He starts out one way and he ends in another way.
Yeah. Immediately, what I'm noticing is the use of black and white, the negative space that you guys have. So who's the artist? Is that you, Chris?
Oh
Is it
no,
someone
I
else?
wish. It'd be a lot cheaper. But no, it's
You'd be surprised.
a talented artist from Berlin named Halil Matei. He's it's all traditional. It's all pen and inks. He actually, when he draws these things, he doesn't draw them with traditional size Bristol board. He draws like these really big sheets. That's how he gets the extra detail and everything. And one of the perks we have is like a hardbound book, just oversized, and you really see some extra details on that because of the way he drew them. So
Yeah, it's a very talented artist, and overall
Good use of
storytelling
close-ups
is
too.
yeah, it's really good storytelling. Good use of storytelling. This piece right there, I love this piece. When I saw it, I loved it. I was like, oh, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
I like the character
Awesome.
designs of him and Snow Bunny.
Yep, exactly. And it again, it has the energy that you're looking for in a comic book,
you want to say
right?
something?
So it
Yeah.
definitely, when you think about a good indie book, first of all, I love black and white comics. I'm a big fan of black and white comics myself, and I love that when it's done right, it looks great. Right? Do you have anything to add to that, Ralph?
Well, as always, it always reminds me of the same thing, which is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And it was a fabulous thing back then, especially as a kid, not being introduced to comics that didn't have color already. And the grittiness of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles at that time was it was way, way more gritty than people remember it.
It really was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the 83 came when it was first launched, Eastman and Laird when they first launched it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those books are impossible to find. The original copies are almost impossible to find. They're super rare.
Because when you say
Um,
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, everybody's always remember the nice, colorful ones, and you're like, "No, I'm talking about the black and white
they were all
noir ones."
they were all wearing red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
By the way,
So let's
if
see.
Paul Skill was asking where to get it, the Kickstarter, the page we're on here now is what you can go pledge there.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and take a look at this project. Let's take a look at this. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear the sound. So let's see. Can you guys hear the sound?
No.
Nah, I can't.
Okay.
When you share, there's a little box in the bottom
Yeah.
left corner. You click for audio.
Let's go ahead and do that then. Yeah, because it's not giving me that option. So
Man has a Star Wars poster behind his girlfriend. They're winners in my book.
The real Star Wars too.
And she's
All right.
she's letting him hang it. She's a
The
keeper.
real Star Wars.
All right, let's do this now. Let's listen in.
Hi, I'm Chris Elston. This is Chassie Lassiter. We're writers and creators of Rabbit's Badass Song and Pop Singer.
Rabbit's Badass Song is a gory, gritty Southern tale of revenge. It tells the story of Jimmy Mason, an African-American born in the heart of Mississippi to a well-respected madam, and Irene Honeycutt, a redhead with a fiery temper. After Jimmy fights back against one of the town's controlling oppressors and a member of the Good Boys, Those boys get together to murder Jimmy and his mother. With Jimmy left to die and hanging from a tree, he's rescued by a man that's going to change his life forever. For 10 years, he and Irene train and wait. The events of that night haunt him and change him into the Rabbit. Rabbit and Irene, now known as Snow Bunny, return to Lightsville, Mississippi to take their revenge on the Good Boys. But this is just the very beginning of Rabbit's plan and his story. Pop Singer is a horror one-shot that follows Stacy Lynn, an up-and-coming pop star. The more popular she becomes, the darker her world gets. And soon she finds herself in this inner circle of elites with occult ties.
Make sure to check out the videos below, where we'll show you more rewards, and also there's links for reviews.
Awesome. So overall, man, this book is definitely one to watch, and you guys, again, it looks amazing. I'm very much impressed.
Thank you.
Appreciate
I'm
it.
just gonna say it again. I read both books of Rabbit's Badass Song. You won't be disappointed. Back the book. I promise you, it's a good book. It's a great book. Back it.
Well, the
And just
cover looks good. The art looks good. The nice black and white to it. The noir feel to it. That's a lot of good just from looking at it. So
Thank you.
So as far as the Kickstarter goes, well, just to let everybody know that is currently watching the video, whether you're watching live or you're watching this to the recorded version, we will have links to all of these projects in the description. So if you go to the YouTube description, go ahead, leave us a comment. I see some people are actually doing that already. Leave us a comment, and at the same time, you do have the links for all the projects for Chassis and Chris. Rabbit's Badass Song 1 and 2, and Pop Singer One Shot. I love them. So that's our first pick. Our next one is Ralph's pick. So Ralph, you're up next, man. You get Seance Room Volume 2.
Seance Room. It's an amazing little book, which has a lot of potential. It is that old reminiscent of the Twilight Zone and all those little shows we used to watch in the 80s with the weirdness and the Crypt Keeper, and sometimes you get a little tale which is very prominently telling you something that you should probably listen to or learn before something evil gets you. And our friend Ben Goldsmith has done an incredible job of putting this together. The art in it is beautiful as usual. And dude, the first series, because this is the second volume, was just amazing, and it does have that feel of old Twilight Zone episodes. It does have that supernatural feel that you groove into, that we like to watch in shows like The Crypt Keeper, and it's just so much fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, looking at this artwork, I'm just looking at the painted work that was put into it.
It's really good.
Yeah,
Gorgeous. Good sense of lighting as well.
Yeah.
It's like you can tell it's in the dark room, right?
Well, you can see that it's in the seance room. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Right.
It's funny because it's not the usual kind of comic book interiors we're so used to getting, and the books, the art actually sells the book really well, because you have this sense of weirdness, a sense of we shouldn't be here, the sense of or maybe we're watching something that we shouldn't be watching, and it just all comes across great. And again, I do have a love of the noir, so this thing has like a great noir feel to it.
Let's watch the video.
Hello, readers. It's been a long time since I last saw you for Seance Room, but we're back. We have 4 new issues coming out. One of them is a crossover between Hackslash and Seance Room. That's right. Hackslash from Tim Seeley is going to be meeting Harry Weiss in the Seance Room. We also have an issue done by Ben Templesmith, incredible world-famous artist of 30 Days of Night, Alex Cormack of Sync, Road of Bones, and Drew Roush of My Blacks Don't Match. Now, We're asking for your help. We want to get these all 4 made and get them out the door to you. So if you can, donate. All of the prizes below could be yours, including a night of haunted magic and wax museums with me in Salem, Massachusetts. So please, join me once again in the seance room.
Those are great.
Ben is a blast. The guys at Source Point Press are amazing, and this is another one of the original outings from Source Point Press. And if you guys know Source Point Press, they do some very great quality stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like this a lot.
It's really good. I love the theatrics of it all, right?
Oh, yeah. Ben is a card, man. If you guys get a chance to meet Ben in person, he is a blast.
We got one of our comments here. Let's put that up. Love your art. Yes, we do love the art.
The art's
It's
amazing. It does a good job of giving it the feel that it needs to give it. I got the original one here, and it's another artist, but it still has that same feel of the supernatural, the psychedelic, the where am I type of thing. And the original story is, of course, about a politician who ends up in the seance room and gets taught a lesson.
And I guess that's the plot. We just need to find out what the lesson. Look at you with your autograph edition right there, showing off that signature. Well, there you go. The seance room again. You could pick it up. You could order it in Kickstarter. So support them. They're doing pretty well. It has a large goal, so it's trying to reach $10,000. 10,000. So that's a pretty hefty mark. But they are about 1/3 away.
Yeah.
So with
that's why I want to give him
go.
a little push, because he's trying to get to 10,000 to get everything published and pay off all the people that need to get paid off. And I was like, let's try to give him a help.
Yeah, and that's the point, right? That's what we're here for, right? We're doing this to get the word out that people, these are comic books that are you probably won't find them in your local shop, unfortunately, because the shops can only sustain a certain amount. They got to buy 100 copies of Spider-Man, just to get that one variant, right? So they can't buy 5 issues of Seance, or they can't buy 5 issues of Badass, right? But that's the beauty of Kickstarter, which we didn't have in back in the day, man. If we had all that stuff, all these books will be funded in some way. So Seance Room, great book. 34% of its goal is being made with 25 days to go. It already has 60 backers. Again, let's work on doing that, guys. Work on doing it. All right. So the next book is my pick here. And what I was doing is I was searching all over Kickstarter to see what was out there and what interests me the most, what piqued my interest. I came across this particular book simply by one thing and one thing only. And let me share it with you guys. And here we go. That image sold me. The big giant eyes. It reminisces that Amy Adams movie. I don't know if you know the name Big Eyes. It's called Big Eyes. But it made me immediately think about that when I saw it. And Beckoning of Aditherius, Chapter 3, The Voice, Part 1. Before the hero's journey begins, one must truly understand the reality of their own existence. And it has a Matrix quality to it, with the whole pills and reality. Is reality real? But what really drew to me the most was this art. When I saw the art in particular, I was sold by the idea more so because through the art with it. Because one thing I did notice a lot about a lot of projects is, and this is not the case for the books that we all picked. If I want to support a Kickstarter, I want to support it with people that are talented and not just trying to get a campaign started. If you guys know what I mean.
Okay.
So there are individuals who their talent comes in their writing, and there are individuals that their talent comes in their art. Not everybody could draw a comic book, but if you could write, then you can make it happen. But the same could be said the other way around, right? It could be beautiful artwork, but the writing could be crappy. And in this particular instance, I fell in love with just the idea of the artwork, but more importantly, how they use the art to tell a story. Just look at if you look at this one image, you see the buzz line going through. That alone is a person that's thinking in their art rather than just drawing a person sleeping in bed. And it continues to tell that story. You see her face, there's an expression in her face, right? This picture alone was beautiful to me. I fell in love with looking at this picture. And the only thing is, it doesn't have a video like the other ones do, but I wanted to showcase this art in particular because, again, it's very smart storytelling the way I see it. And at the same time, it has elements of manga in it. It has elements of, realism in some of the artwork, as you can see here in this particular image. Dealing with her friends, dealing with, this pill issue that she's doing, all that is there, and it's present in this story. Just look at that image right there. The rain, the pathway, all that comes into play. And again, smart storytelling and using angles properly, perspective is another thing. And it's written really well. So this was I contact this person today to let them know that, we're gonna feature your book, and they were very pleased with it. Her name is Methadina. And
the art
really
style
good
is
stuff.
amazing.
It's fantastic. And I was dumbfounded by looking how sharp it is. It's clean. I believe it's digital. It looks very digital to me, but it's still clean. And just seeing how they utilize color properly.
Right.
It's kind of like with Seance, right? With Seance, how they did the lighting
Yeah.
with the Seance, with Seance, and with the ink wash from Badass. So it's all there to watch. So this was my first pick that I looked at, and that's this book here. Again, it's not an easy title to remember, but it's The Beckoning of Aetherius, Chapter 1, The Voice. So for those of you that are watching, if you want to support this book is found in the link below. All right. Anybody wants to share anything before I move on? What they see, if they like, what they don't like,
Just look at the glare in the eyes. It's
Yeah.
beautiful artwork.
It is. Mm-hmm.
It really is.
It's kind of a unique art approach, even though it has an anime feel to it. But at the same
Well,
time,
it's like the characters are anime, but the backgrounds are not.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I actually been following her for a while too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I've been trying to push her stuff because I don't think she was on Facebook. I think she just started an Instagram page, but yeah, I think she's one to look out for, I believe, just for the art alone.
Yeah, and just if you really look at this image, this was the image that sold me, right? If you look at this image, there is no way a human being's eyes are that big, right? But it's not about that. So it's taking that exaggeration and taking it to another level, which anime does a lot, right? So if you look at anime characters, nobody should look like that in real life. If they do, there's a problem. But it's true. But in this particular instance, you could see that, first of all, she has tears in her eyes. Her eyes are glassy and watery. That takes skill to master to make it work.
Yeah.
And it's painted, but not only just that image, just the storytelling alone. It has that anime manga feel to it without exactly being an anime manga book.
Exactly.
Because it's not. It's someone taking an anime manga and incorporating it with a Western style. So that was my first pick. Again, go check that one out. So Phil, we're going back to you. Our next pick.
Well, one moment here. I keep being poked over here because Nat wants me to ask Chastity and Chris the question of what about Berserk influenced your style, or was it just the art style?
Oh, far as what from Berserk inspired us, the whole
Yeah.
thing, everything, the story, the art, and everything. And it's kind of it broke my heart when the creator Kantaro when he passed away. You know, such a talented person. He first of all he passed away, but then the book would never get would never get done. But he spent his entire life on this book, and that kind of pushed us to get the rabbit out because man, that could be me or us.
That's true.
We get the story and be gone, then nobody would ever see it. So yeah, but yeah, I just love it's not the fact it's manga, it's just the story alone that really inspired me to want to write.
I can see that because that does the blood and tears he poured into it, and then he ends up dying, and somebody has to continue the work. It's just it does give that feeling of, well, maybe we should take the time we have, get what we need to get out there before we run out of that time.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right. So we got our thing late written out. So God forbid I get struck by lightning tomorrow. She can she can finish the book.
Don't say that.
Chastity, that's awfully nice. My wife would look at me and be like, "Yeah, if that happens, his insurance will cover my."
It should be like, just don't stand next to me when it happens.
Just my luck, my hair would just turn massively white, and that's probably what.
Hey, nothing wrong
I
with
say
that.
that all the time, man. I'll probably get hit by a car, struck by lightning. Next thing you know, I'm still around and going, I don't get it, but
No, I know that's not going to happen to me because if it did, it would be the day after I won the $1 million lottery.
Just make sure you have that will set up, right? All right, so let's go to our next book, which is The Crying Boy, Book 2. So that was a Phil pick. So Phil, talk to us a little bit about this book.
Well, my Irish friend there, Niall O'Rourke, I met him on Facebook, and he's into horror, but he's into more of the horror that I like, which is more of a creepy, haunting horror. The hack or slash stuff is fine, but I really love the stuff that resonates with you and sits with you like, ooh, that was creepy. Just gives you a chill or whatever. Basically, this a widow and her young son trying to start their life over again, move into a home in Forest Hills here in New York.
Wow.
And there's a painting, and there's a history in this home of death. And the painting has survived fires and all these other things. And that's because there is a demon in the painting, and the demon is responsible for a lot of hell on earth and chaos, etc. But it gets more involved in that. There's a priest that used to do exorcisms, and it's as much his tale as it is theirs. It deals with undertones of grief and how you deal with grief and how you try to pick up the pieces and move forward while things are still being thrown at you. So there's a lot of human undertones there, which I love that stuff. I'm all about the human emotion. But he's also, as you can see from the gritty art, it's creepy as hell and it's dark. And it just leaves you feeling like icky. So,
well, just looking at the tone, right? Altogether, this is heavy blacks.
Yeah.
Unlike like Chris and Chastity's book, they use a lot of black and white, but this is more dark black, right?
You are drudging through the muck when you read these books. You
can feel it.
Yeah, it really does. It resonates with you.
Yeah, this cover alone kind of freaks me out, man. I don't think I'm gonna be able to sleep now thinking about that little boy.
Well, here's the funny thing. This is actually based on a painting called The Crying Boy that they've found in a bunch of houses that have burned down, and the painting has stayed the way it is. So there's a bunch of these paintings out there called The Crying Boy, and when the house burns down, they'll find the painting inside, but the painting's fine.
Everything else is gone and burned.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You should know that.
Should I?
Yeah, because I watch Ghost Adventure.
Oh, yeah.
As a matter of fact, and in the story,
look at this thing.
In the story, it does incorporate one of those live shows, like the gotcha shows, like Ghost Hunters and stuff. So he's got a lot of different subplots going on and characters going on in the book.
It's good.
And this is reminiscent of One Flew of the Cuckoo's Nest
Mm.
Yeah, right.
right there. Yeah, it's taking
Or is it
Jack
The
all the way.
Shining? The Shining.
No, it's The
right?
Shining. It's The
Shining,
Shining.
yeah.
The
Shining.
wrong movie. Yeah, The Shining. You are
Right
correct.
actor though. Right actor though.
Right actor. That's why I immediately
Here's
drawn on
Johnny.
it. Yeah,
I'm not
definitely.
gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brains in.
Love of my life.
Beautiful stuff.
All right. So let's take a look at the video. I'm a little hesitant to play it now. I'm a little worried. But let's go ahead and do it anyway.
Okay.
He
That
puts
was
like
not
that
one of
light.
the, not what I
I
was
know, right?
expecting.
Same here. I was
that
like,
light, that light, like it sounds like Depeche Mode or The Cure going on.
I was like, oh, I was like, here we go.
I was waiting for
Okay.
doom,
Good comic
gloom,
book. Good comic book.
lightning,
Work on the video.
thunder.
Well, yeah, I was. You know what was funny is like when it did transition, right? It started with that upbeat sound, and then it's like, bam, I thought it was actually
stops.
gonna go into that,
Yeah,
Yeah,
that,
some
you know,
horror, yeah.
that Exorcist sound, you know, like ding, 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 you know, the creepy piano playing. The good news about the Crying Book is that it reached its goal. So congratulations to the team of the Crying Book. They reached a goal of 2,570. They were going for 2,000. So, and they still have 22 days away. So if you want to continue to support the book, by all means, go ahead and support the book. They could be able to do more with the pledge. So just because they've reached the goal doesn't mean you need to stop, right? That's the
Yeah,
thing.
Niall's working hard at trying
Yeah.
to keep going with this, and he works nights, and he's a good guy, and he's a fellow Irishman, so we got that bond going on.
All right, so now we're gonna go to one that I was watching this morning at work, and it was one of Ralph's picks. Maiden in Disguise. I immediately was thinking about my kids with this one. So go ahead and talk to us a little bit about Maiden in Disguise, Ralph.
Dude, I loved supporting her original Kickstarter, which is the Main in Disguise book. Inside the book itself, they have these little blurbs that move you from one part of the story to the other, and a lot of the audience started to love them. So she started going, "Why don't we get them animated and put them out there, during the summer, so that people can see them, and it'll be a whole different feel to it." And the book alone already is fantastic because this is the story of a gamer, a gamer girl who's in the game as a dude, and everybody thinks she's a dude, especially while she's playing the game, and they are assuming that she's a dude in real life. So this just goes all along my gamer aspect, because I'm like, I know a lot of those girls, and make believe there were dudes because they didn't want the guys bothering them, because as soon as they find out you're a girl, the guys go crazy for you in these MMORPGs. And believe me,
That is true.
I've seen them get really creepy. So it's an interesting story, and then she sets it in a different universe of Esoterra. So it's a lot of creativity going on in a small concept which you won't see coming. So it's fantastic, and I like the idea that she's doing these animated stories to get to show off the little tidbits of what's going on in between. And she just needs the support, dude. It's a great book. If you can get the original, go for it. Go to esoterra.com and pick it up yourselves, because it's a great concept. And she's working on continuing chapters. She's actually fleshing out the universe. The whole thing is that she's making this feel like you're actually in this MMORPG world, and you're doing all the stuff from this world as the characters do it themselves.
Mhm. Yeah, one of the things that I immediately caught when I saw it is that this campaign isn't for the book; it's
No.
for the animation of
Exactly.
the shorts.
Mhm.
And the shorts, I dabbled in animation a little bit myself. It is not easy.
No, not at all.
It is really hard. You think at first you're like, oh yeah, I can make this happen, but it really isn't about making a whole bunch of pictures and then putting them together. It's about a level of consistency. It's a level of making sure that when a turn is made, it looks natural.
Exactly.
And when I saw the video, which I'll play in a second, I was
Great
I was
video.
I was giggling, man. It was cracking me up. Phil, did you get a chance to look at this book in particular?
I didn't. I'm gonna look at it now.
Yeah, so let's go ahead. And Kristen Chastity, did you ever get a chance to look at this? I know,
No, I did
you know,
not.
you kind of like we just invited you in today, so I'm not expecting you to do that. So let's go ahead and watch the video to see what we're talking about.
Yeah, that's because I can't kick your ass from up here, short stack.
Hey! Tell me what it's like going to school with Elrind Agrenar.
Huh? What? The camera's rolling already, but stop. I'm not ready yet.
Excuse me, I'll go first. Billiam McWilliams, leader of the AV Club, at your service. Here, take my card.
No comment.
It's really him! OMG, I love you, Elrond!
Elrond? Oh, you mean Ellie, don't you? Well, I would tell you, but it's a secret.
Hello, friends and strangers alike. I'm Bitsy Tandem, CEO of EOTerra Entertainment and founder of Isekai Production Studios. Today we are here to make some mid-bits. For those of you who have already been acquainted with Maiden in Disguise, you probably already know what mid-bits are. But if you're new here, welcome. Join us, and let me tell you a little bit about it. Mid-bits are fun, miniaturized side stories following the characters we already know and love, outside of the main plot of the comic book. These comedic sketches and skits are far more than just bloopers. They're filler episodes that you actually want to see. And speaking of episodes, you probably noticed that we're taking our very first jump into animation. We are taking what used to be just 4-panel comics and transforming them into fully animated shorts, including snippets of writing and all kinds of other world building along the way. We have 10 amazing guest artists joining us, as well as our amazing animator and wonderful voice actors. I hope you can check them all out in the description. And if you want your summer to be full of EOTerra shenanigans, go ahead and pick out a reward tier, and we'll see you on the other side. Yeah.
I actually did see that on Ralph's show.
Oh yeah, they're at 41%, so it's they're doing really well. $4,000 to go. So yeah, my kids watch something very similar. It could very well be something like this.
Yeah.
Because I've as I'm doing this, they're probably watching something in the background, right? and it's tidbits. It's like it's midbits. It's exactly the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff. So I'm like, and they're just cracking up laughing. It's just little 15, 30-second shorts of just them being them, really.
Yeah, I
Kristen
wanted to bring her to
Chastity-
light because she only has 5 days left, and she's trying to reach 4,000. And it doesn't sound like a lot of money, which is so funny. But when you're stuck, and when your Kickstarter gets stuck, we all know the pain of this. It's for some reason it needs like a boost to get us to hop over that hurdle.
Yeah, it needs a little bit of gasoline being poured on it in some way.
Exactly.
All right, Kristen Chastity, is this the first time you guys see something like this?
Yeah.
Like this, yes. Like the little short animations, yeah. But like I thought it was really cute.
Yeah.
It was real cute.
It is really cute, and I love the way she presented it. Like it worked with the mute. Like unlike the crying guy, she did put the effort in.
Yeah, she did. She did a great job of presenting it. She had fun with it. You can tell she's having fun with it.
Yeah. So absolutely. So that Maiden in Disguise, the animated shorts, mini manga merch. So they're working hard on it. With 5 days left, they need a extra push.
Yeah.
So if you got $4,000 left to spare, go ahead, give up that stimulus check. But leave a piece for Chastity and Chris, okay, guys? And the rest of the project and stuff. Awesome. All right, so we got one more campaign that we're going to focus on. We do have two more that we're going to talk about, but the next campaign that we're going to focus on is coming up. So let me stop sharing that one. This is actually another pick that I went through when I was searching for picks. This was one that I went to it at first, and I kind of said, okay, let me. You know how you go to a comic book convention, and when we were just in one, me and Phil. When you go to a comic convention, and before you make a decision on whether you're going to buy something or not, you walk around just to check everything out because you don't want to actually, put all your money into the first thing you see. This was the exact same experience I had, where when I first saw it, it was one of the first projects I saw, and I said, this looks really interesting. And the more I was thinking about it, the more I just kept coming back to it. And I wanted to check out other projects because there's tons of projects that we could support, and I would love to do it for every single one of them. But some of them you have to look at it from a different perspective and say, okay, which is the ones that stand out for you? And this is the one that stood out for me, which is Sacrimony, which I'll show to you guys right now. So Sacrimony is a fantasy tale, but it really deals with what the creator says, the functional gods. Very, very reminiscent of a Thor, Loki type of environment where one hates the other and things like that. The creator, again, world building is the big part here. She does have multiple projects that she's worked on, but Sacrimonious has been around for a bit now. There's multiple books here, right? And again, you can see by the artwork. I love this, the metal milkshake variant. Whatever, right? But it's very the style in particular. Again, going with a little bit of manga, but there's definitely a manga feel to it.
There's a mixture to it though. There's a feel of manga, and then there's this feel of old fashioned stained glass window art.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what I got from it.
Looks good.
Yeah, I like it.
So you have that, and then you have the story of this, this god who was imprisoned for something he did, but then something else happened, and as a result, they need to release him, but he ain't sharing the information, and they're not sharing information. There's a lot of stuff going on here. It's very layered, to say the least. So tarot cards, yeah, I know. That's what Nathan's saying. Tarot cards. Yeah,
it looks like tarot cards. It has that tarot card feel as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It's right there. He is. That's exactly what it is. Tarot cards. But look they're cute tarot cards.
They are. They're really cute.
All right. So let me go ahead and put the video so you guys can see what it's better if she explains the story. That's the hardest thing about these Kickstarters as well. Is like you don't know the full story right now. Exactly. You just know part of the story. So let's go ahead and take this time to hear from the creator of the book.
I used to think if I couldn't find hope, I should just let it all go. I used to think if I couldn't make dreams come true, I should just let them all go. When life seems impossible, look from a new angle, change just one little thing. When life feels intolerable, find your true source of love. Focus on love.
Hi there, I'm M. Sorcier, self-taught artist and writer and criminal mastermind behind Sacrimony, a tale of love, life, and death in no particular order. In a nutshell, Sacrimony is the story of a fallen god and the people who hate him. Sifrim's a fallen god once renowned as the Loyal. After committing crimes against another god in cold blood, he's been banished to roam the mortal realm and now finds himself imprisoned at the frigid peak of the world with no means of being set free. When a group of mortals come to visit him and assess the situation, they don't know a whole lot, but they all come to an agreement that he is a colossal asshole. However, he's a colossal asshole with something that they want. Sephram claims to know things about the gods and the afterlife, and he'll only share them if he's freed from prison. In the worst catch-22 ever, his visitors can't free him until he tells them why he's been banished in the first place, and he refuses to tell them why he's been banished until they free him from prison. So what lengths will these mortals go to in order to get the knowledge that they seek, and will it even be worth it in the end? Sacrimony, at heart, is a human story about characters dealing with whatever life throws at them. Like one of those stories you'd read because you're invested in the characters and not because you want to see like a specific bad guy get defeated. So, why am I here on Kickstarter? For the past 2/3 of my life, I've been wanting to make Sacrimony a tangible story, but life kept getting in the way. In 2020, I said, you know what, whatever, and I made the best Sacrimony comic that I could possibly make at the time. After 3 back-to-back successful campaigns for Sacrimonies 1, 2, and 3, I'm absolutely certain that Sacrimony has a place in the world and there are people who want to read it. And you know what, I want to make more of it, so here I am, with issue 4. Sacrimony 4 is a 31-page, full-color, standard-size comic featuring pretty artwork and characters you won't be able to forget. Aside from physical and digital books, I've got adorable stickers, cute magnets, a smoking hot variant cover, signed book plates, metal comic covers, and a lot of collector's bundles. And if you're a new reader, I got you covered with both digital and physical catch-up bundles. So if you're looking for a fresh fantasy story featuring complex relationships, lovable characters, the vast gray line between good and evil, and a redonkulous amount of world building, I highly recommend Sacrimony. But it's not like I'm biased or anything. So thank you so much for your support, and keep an eye out, because I'm in this for the long haul, and there'll be many, many more books to come.
And she's at 60% of her goal, so that's awesome to hear. Yeah, and we do have a comment. Love Maddie's work. Yeah, Bitsy. All right, you know, again, she's doing really well. She's just shy of under $2,000 to hit the goal, but she has 103 backers. She's 14 days, so she got 2 weeks to hit that number.
That's a good enough time, but if it does slow down, then you know that's why we need to get that pushing.
Yeah, let's push Maddie's book, because I want to see Sacrimony. I want to get the other books, because it stood out for me. I was like, this looks cool. I'm down. I'm definitely down. So look at it. Now we got friends talking to each other.
Yeah,
that right there.
I get. Yeah, there goes Bitsy.
There goes Bitsy. Oh, there now she. Don't you just love it when they comment in the chat room? I love it. All right, so go ahead, support the book. Now we're just gonna keep having this conversation. Look at that. All right, so support Sacrimonies just as we support all the other books. One more book I want to cover, and then I'm gonna give it to Phil to talk a little bit. We have another book that's coming on the way. It wasn't part of the original 6 that we had, and there's a good reason for that, and that's because the book hasn't launched yet. So this is the start of the campaign. It's called Nightmare in Newark, by David Crownson, creator of, you get this, Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer.
I thought so. The art looked familiar. Yeah.
So this is going to launch on June 1st. Just looking at the little bit of art that I did see, and he showed me, the artwork is gorgeous. It's beautiful. It has this cartoony vibe to it, but at the same time, it's clean, it's crisp, it's sharp. So go support David Crownson's work. Nightmare in Newark, which is coming out. It's going to start launching on June 1st. So those are our picks for books. And now I'm going to hand it over to Phil. He's going to talk a little bit about what else he wants to promote.
Well, first, please, everybody, if anybody's watching, back all the people we've mentioned. Get them. There's some people that are need help to get funded, and they're running out of time. So please go back them. People work really hard at these campaigns, and they're really emotional roller coasters, you know. And I'm sure that the people doing these campaigns put everything they had into them, their love, their passion. So please get them over the top. Chastity and Chris have an amazing book, Rabbit's Badass, a badass song. So please check that out. I've read both issues. Fantastic. I look forward to reading Pop Singer. I have a campaign going on right now called Tragedy for my book, and I'm doing a cross promotion with Nicholas Gear's The Relentless Tin Soldier, which is his second issue. Um, we know everybody knows there's an Indiegogo and a Kickstarter kind of tribalism thing going on. People don't want to move platforms, and we think it's a shame because you're not supporting the platform, you're supporting the creators that are on those platforms. We're just trying to get out there. So we kind of did a crossover promotion where we have connecting covers. Nicholas, The Relentless Tin Soldier, it's a good book. It's a very good book. He's a police officer in Texas, and his character's a cop, goes through some things, becomes the Relentless Tin Soldier, super strong. Cool character, great concept. And issue 2's out now in Indiegogo. I think he's got like 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks to go. If you go to his campaign, you buy the one cover, and then you go to my campaign and buy the cover, you put them together, and you get a fastball special, X-Men style. So obviously it promotes both of our campaigns, but we also wanted to just show you there doesn't have to be a feud between Indiegogo and Kickstarter. We can all just support creators and get together and get along. As I said before, we work really hard, and it can be soul crushing when you feel like people don't want your product, so please don't let anybody feel like that. Nobody should feel like that. So Relentless Tin Soldier issue 2 on Indiegogo by Nicholas Gear. Go check it out. And then there's Tragedy, my character. Basically, I've never met a woman that knew how beautiful she was, how intelligent she was, how powerful she was, how capable she was. And that sparked my thoughts for Tragedy, which is loosely based on my wife. This is, if you took the Boondock Saints and Big Trouble in Little China and you mixed it together, it's not even the surface, touching the surface of what you get out of my book. And if you're a younger generation, don't know what the hell those movies are, okay. So she's an Irish assassin. Her life was taken from her. Her family was taken from her. She's being used by a sociopathic adoptive father. The more she knows that he's using her, but she has daddy issues for losing her father. So she tries to get his love and respect. And the more she tries to do that, the less, the more he uses her, the more she hates herself for it. I mean, have you ever been in a relationship that was abusive like that? You knew you shouldn't be in this, but for some reason you just feel you need that person's love and respect, and you keep going back for it. And it causes you to have issues with yourself. So while she's this badass martial artist, she can kick whoever's rear end. Sorry, I said ASS. Sorry there, Izzy.
We've been saying badass all day. Don't worry about it.
I just realized that too.
She's facing rival mafias, metahumans, Chinese mysticism, and ancient immortals, and she faces all these things. But the biggest thing she faces is her own inner demons. Her strength isn't that she wins all the fights, because she doesn't. Because I get tired of seeing good guys like He-Man always wins, so you can't take Skeletor seriously, right? How can you be a hero if you're not challenged? If you're not kicked down? We've all been kicked in the gut and laying on the ground, right? And that's why I think you can relate to her, because her strength is that she gets up every day wanting to just pull the covers back over her head and said, I'm not doing this. But she faces the day anyway, like we all do. And I really think she's a human character. I'm really into the human aspect of characters and the relation, because at the end of the day, we could talk about whether we're white, black, gay, straight. It doesn't matter. We're all humans deep down. We all have insecurities. We all have fears. We all have doubts, and we all have our strengths. And our strengths come from all the times we got knocked down. And that's what Tragedy is. So I'd ask you to go check it out. I think it's well written. It's gotten great reviews from major Marvel and DC writers. I have major artists attached to it. Ricardo Silva has been doing a beautiful job on the book. And just the team is fantastic. Chris Sotomayor is a Marvel DC colorist for 30 years.
He's amazing.
It's just gorgeous. And I will get credit for the book, but I shouldn't. The only thing I get credit for is being smart enough to surround myself with great talent. And that's what I've done. And that includes Mr. Ralph the Written Writ, who not on this campaign, but in the past two, did voiceovers on the trailers with that Barry White voices. He's like, tragedy,
Right.
So anyway, so that's my pitch. We've got original art tiers. We even have an original art sketch cover by Billy Tucci, the creator of She. It's still available to be. We put it up just 2 days ago. I'm a big art fan, as you can see behind me. So we have a lot of variant covers. I love to support artists. Please keep in mind, when you back all of these campaigns, you're also backing all of the people that have worked on the book, and you're making a lot of people's dreams come true. You know, artists that want to draw for a living, writers that want to write for a living, editors, colorists, inkers. You're supporting a lot of people. So please remember that. Yeah, those are the interiors by Ricardo. He's brilliant. The colors by Chris Sotomayor. Letters by Jason Meadows. Poor Jason. I put so much dialogue in panels. He probably secretly hates me.
You can see a little bit of it here with all that dialogue.
Look at that.
Listen, I'm old school. I remember
Regular
when
Bendis right here.
Yeah, I remember when you read comics.
Yeah.
Obviously, the artwork is huge. It's a comic. It is huge, but you also have to have a story. And that's Joe and Anthony. They're based on two of my longest and oldest friends, and they're actually what
Beautiful,
people love them. They're really funny. I
Wow.
have villains that you hate to love and love to hate, and I have a really, really good rogues gallery that sold in minutes.
Angvu.
In
The Angvu
minutes.
sold already?
It went in minutes.
Damn.
And she has another one coming. This sold
This
very
was beautiful,
quickly.
man.
Gus Mock.
I really liked that one. That's a really
Yeah.
good rendition.
Yeah, I like that she's an innocent soul deep down. I mean, if you think about it, the people who get tainted were usually an innocent soul, and that's why they got tainted, because it was disappointing to them when life got so mean, you know?
Yeah.
And she's an innocent soul deep down. This is Rod Ramos. I represent him as an artist. This is available. It's 11 by 17. Beautiful inked piece.
Yeah, I know
pencil ink
Rod.
piece. Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah, he is.
That's sold in minutes. That's Kenny Calderon. He might be putting another one up. Just look at the action. That's the Breath of the Dragon. He's an adversary she fights in the first book. The first book has a very shocking ending, which the trailer is actually going to show you if you look at the trailer.
Yeah, we'll put it on in a second.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but we're on book 3 now, guys. If you haven't caught on, I can't hold it. I can't hold everything in too long. Yeah, I know I'm a nobody, but I got to start showing something.
Bro. This
I like
cover
this one.
is the one that's been standing out the most to me, man.
Mike DeBalfo,
Yeah,
he
DeBalfo's
draws
good.
women like nobody's business. Him and Billy Tucci, to me, draw women better than anybody. That's Alex Sinclair colors. That's Jim Lee's colorist, you know, and he also did
Scott
Superhero
Hanna did the
Magazines.
ink as well.
Yep, Scott
Yeah.
Hanna inks. And Arseny Kolyasnikov.
Of course,
Steph
Steph.
Wilson, minus the big chest, which I asked him to tone down. Look, I have nothing against that. It's an art form, but her strength is not in her sexuality. And I think more women need to be represented as being strong and powerful because of their mind and their will and their heart, not because they're attractive. That's just me, and I have 2 little girls, so I want the right message.
Yeah, I agree.
And she's an assassin, so yes, she's not going to have cleavage because nobody wants a bullet between the breasts. You know, she's covered up to her neck for a reason.
That's what I always appreciated about your character design for her. I always thought, you know, she had a very classic look.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And it's that classic old superhero look where you know, they actually have a uniform.
Dysfunction, yeah, it's not like pumps and tongs like the 90s.
Exactly. She's facing
she
death
looks-
situations every day.
She reminds me of Scarlet from G.I. Joe. If you guys remember
Oh, yeah,
Scarlet.
I can see that. Okay.
I
You see
can
the
see
Scarlet? I can see shit. That's
Yeah.
I'm growing. You know, the Scarlet vibes. Who
That's
was
the
that
first
type of
half of-
character?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first half of the connecting covers. If you go to the Relentless Tin Soldier,
Oh,
and
look at
that's
that.
what the cover looks like when you put them together. You could do them. We have virgin versions available where there's no trade dress too, so you could do it with the trade dress or without, and that would be what they look like put together. Done by Eric Ninotowski, amazing artist, and Chris Sotomayor, colorist. We have catch-ups. You know, look, if you're I had 40 covers for the first 2 books. And I'm not trying to milk you out of money, so I did a book of covers. We have Will Spatasio, Ian Churchill, Sean Chen, Larry Stroman, you know, Tyler Kirkham, a bunch of great indie artists like Jim O'Reilly and Mato Zapata and Robert Powers. So I put them all in a book. So if you just like the covers, I'm not asking you to buy the same book 15 times. just buy the book of covers and you can get all the covers you want.
Yeah.
Let's go
That's
ahead
the
and play
Tyler
the
Kirkham
video.
cover there.
Yeah.
Let's go to the videotape.
Let's go to the videotape.
Roll it. You ready for a spoiler?
Tragedy.
Yeah, great song.
Previously on Tragedy.
Nice. That had to hurt. Homage to Frank Miller.
Well, next, our hero, Grace O'Connor, aka Tragedy.
You never know who you are until you're tested. And she gets
John Ottinger.
Just real quick, if you're international and you want the book, we didn't put up there because it's shipping so much, but you can just message me. Let me know where you live. I'll find out what the shipping cost is. And if you're interested, you can put the shipping cost in the donation part of the tier, and you can still back the book through the Kickstarter. The other thing I would say is the first book is 30 full color pages. The second book's 28, and the third is 36. That's 94 pages of story. You can get all 3 PDFs for only $18. For $18, you get 94 pages of story. So, we try to make affordable tiers for everybody. I know you're working hard at jobs that you probably don't like, and you're lucky if you're making $10 or $15 an hour, and I'm asking you to spend that money on my book, and I get it. So the least I could do is give you the highest quality stock paper. I do stretch goals way before we hit our goal because I want to give you free stuff, and I want to thank you for everybody that supports, whether you pledged or you just shared out or you liked or you commented or you're watching now. I just want to say thank you. I can't believe we're over 10 grand, halfway to go. It's because of you I get to do what I love, and it's all of you. So thank you. And please get these other people over their goals. Please.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the purpose of this video today, to get those books out. Again, going back to the full list that we talked about today. We got Rabbit's Badass Song right there, Chastity and Chris right there. Pop star, right? It's pop star, pop singer.
Pop singer.
singer.
I almost said pop star.
Yeah. I don't have to put it down
Yeah,
here,
pop
right? Seance Room Volume 2, The Beckoning of Aetherius, Chapter 3, The Crime Boy, Book 2, Made It in Disguise animated shorts, Sacrimonies, and coming soon, Nightmare in Newark, as well as Tragedy. Guys, it has been a blast. This has been a really good video. I'm really excited that we did this. I'm happy we did this. I want to do this again sometime soon. Support some more indie books because, again, they need the love, man. You could buy a Marvel and DC book all day, and they're always great. But man, when it comes to an indie book, you get a book that characters can actually die.
And stay dead.
And stay dead. And again, it really isn't about your favorite characters all the time. It's about good storytelling, good art. May not. Yeah, and just the fact that these are people that, like you and me, that are working on their passion. Some of them do have the goal of being in the next Marvel DC, but some of them don't. Some of them just want to just produce books, and that's good too. So with that being said, let's do our final farewells. I'm gonna. Oh wait, I got something here. Oh, I got a chance to tune in, but thanks so much No problem, man. I don't even know if that picture was meant for us, but yes,
Just fits.
we love your book. We are supporting your book. Thank you for stopping by. I contacted her kind of late, so it's a little bit of my fault, but we definitely support your book and all the other people that we support. So I'm gonna start with Phil. Phil, last words before we go, and where they can find you.
Back, Rabbit's Badass Song. It just launched. It's worth it. I'm telling you. I love that book. Back Tragedy. I love that book too. I might be a little biased, but you can follow me on Facebook, Philip Russertt. That's where I do most of my posting because Facebook kills business pages. So thanks, Facebook. So you can find me there. But we're on Kickstarter right now. Type in Tragedy Chapter 3 with catch-ups 1 and 2. And if you just type in Tragedy comic book in Kickstarter, it pops up like that. So please go check it out. It's live now with 14 days to go. And back Relentless Tin Soldier by Nicholas Gear to get the connecting covers we're doing. Rabbit's Badass Song.
Ralph, you're next.
Well, of course, I have to mention Bitsy again. Her beautiful project it bugs me out because we always want to support the arts. We always want to support people. And she's doing a great job at putting this animation together. And you know how many people that helps when you're doing something like what she's doing is it's not you're helping artists, you're helping voiceover artists, you're helping the person who made the book, who wrote the book. And I feel like it's such a great project for you guys to like jump in and help out. And she really could use some help. Made in the Disguise is amazing. Exactly. We all need to get Made in the Disguise funded people because, dude, you saw a little bit of what we can see, and the videos are fun, and the book is fun as heck. The concept is amazing, especially if you're a gamer. If you've seen all that MMORPG stuff, woo, there's only 4 days left to get it funded, so let's get it funded, people. And of course, I have to mention Ben Goldsmith and the Seance Room. If you love horror, if you love the Twilight Zone, you will want to pick this thing up. If you like,
if you love seances, right?
Exactly. Like smart ass hosts of of spooky things, then you have it right here in the Seance Room owner. And go have fun, enjoy, support these independents, because if we can support enough independents, we can make Marvel actually do good stuff.
Yeah, and not stick to the house style they've been dealing with lately.
Yeah.
So, that's fine. Chastity and Chris, our special guests. Where can people find you?
Well, we're pretty much on all the platforms. We're on Facebook. We have our own page, which is Flash Delirium LLC, and you can type that into Twitter and Instagram, and it'll come up. And then we have my personal page, Elston Christopher, on Facebook and also Instagram. And yeah, that's Chastity. You got it.
Oh, mine is long. I have a long name, but it's Chastity Lassiter.
But if you find me, you can find her.
Yeah.
It's easier that way.
We're connected, right?
Yeah. But I just want to say thank you again, everybody. Thank you so much, Phil, for recommending our book. It's very kind of you to speak of us. But yeah, so Rabbit's Badass Song issue. Hold up. Oh, where we going? Oh, okay.
There you go.
First print cover.
That is a nice cover, man.
Thank you. Issue 2. And these are on.
Wait, put that one back up. I didn't get to see that one.
Can you see that? Yeah.
Yeah, is that Alan Moore?
It could be, maybe.
It looks like him.
I immediately thought.
Is he like a magician now? That he just put something.
Yeah, he's a wizard. He's a wizard.
Yeah, magician wizard. Pop singer, the first one, the one shot.
That is a really cool inventive cover.
Yeah, that's
I really like the cover.
Yeah, he came up with this like on the fly because originally this was a free comic online. We didn't have a cover, we just put it out for free. But when we decided to print it, he whipped this up for us. But yeah, if you just follow, again, if you sign, if you pledge, we're doing free giveaways every week. We're pulling names out of the basket. That's even before we, get our goal. And we're also doing the freebie. So we hit certain numbers even before we get to our goal. We're giving stuff away. We want people, we want you to
really cool stickers and stuff.
Yeah, we want you to get something out of this because you're, like Phil said, you're taking your time to looking at our stuff. So we want to reward you best we can, and hopefully you'll like the book. And all of it just keeps it going.
You will.
So
they will.
Yeah.
And good luck to Bitsy and Mata. I really hope that they get over the top.
Yeah, to everyone, it was a pleasure having you all here. Stick around, guys. We'll get back and we'll start talking outside. So in the meantime, I just want to tell everybody thank you for watching the show. For those of you that we're supporting, we are continually supporting. We're going to put that stuff on our Instagrams, our Facebook. We're going to let everyone know where they could find you guys. And if you could do me a favor, leave a comment and subscribe to the YouTube channel. It helps a lot. It helps me a lot. And I want to be able to do more shows like this one in particular. So, guys, I will see you next time in the Izzyverse when I'm going to be talking to Dean Haspel. We're going to be talking on Monday. So with that being said, guys, take care. See you next time.